Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at a forgotten melee and see what we can do with it. Yep, that's right. Today we're making Wukong's Iron Staff good. Of course, you might just think, yes, AoE armor strip build, how simple. But there's a lot more reason on why this helps Wukong out so much. Besides, you can even get your fancy pre-rework red crits back too. There are two build setups today, one for chill base steel path and another sweaty one for endurance, so let's see what's up. Iron Staff is canonically one of the strongest exalted melees by raw stats. It is crit viable and status viable. The biggest issue with it was a lack of good slash weight, which it actually had none of until a later update, and a lack of beneficial augments. It also doesn't have a particularly good stance. Excalibur has Chromatic Blade, Valkyr has special slide attack mechanics, Baruch has the additional wave hitboxes and even reactive storm. While Iron Staff by lore might have near infinite reach, with the move even appearing so, its full potential pales in comparison. This doesn't make Iron Staff bad, rather it just didn't make it good. It could still go toe-to-toe with good melees, albeit behind the top tier meta stuff. But what is actually good on Iron Staff? Some of the things are shared across all exalted melees and should be rather obvious, whereas other aspects less so. It has 1.0 follow through, a stat shared by all exalted melee, but this actually distinguishes it from normal melee because it means range has 0 diminishing returns on actual damage application to enemies. More importantly, the staff has base 3.5 meter range, the highest out of any melee in the game. Yes, Rivens are a thing, but the reason why this is important is because the main Iron Staff combo actually has a fully circular hitbox as its final attack. Since range is the same as radii of a circle, Wukong benefits immensely from additional range, so much so that even mods like Spring-Loaded Blade do significantly more than you'd expect. Over 70% extra hitbox area even with primed reach already slotted. While Iron Staff has issues against armor, whereas other exalted melees either have excessive damage through additional mechanics, augments, or have access to slash, do not forget that Iron Staff has the highest base status chance of them all at 30% by default. This makes Iron Staff the perfect candidate for AoE full strip builds because he stands to gain the most from it. He'll be able to apply status effects very effectively, with a 0 falloff in a massive circular area to all enemies within range, all playing to his strengths. A full strip AoE build also lets Iron Staff easily compete with top tier melees due to his excessive range and hitbox mechanics, as well as, like all other exalted melees, having access to dual scaling. Strength and base damage are multiplicative to each other, and this is how we will make Iron Staff setups that also scale into endurance today. Let's take a closer look. We have two builds, but like anything focused around min-maxing build mechanics, I've chosen to use a shield gating build. This lets me focus on having enough mod slots on the build to ensure it can perform as intended. The chill base steel path build uses refresh spit alongside at least one auger mod on your pistol to give you a minimum 190% energy to shield conversion. At 100 efficiency, this makes Pillage cost 50 to cast and restores 95 shields. You both fully reset your shield gate on cast and once again when Pillage returns, which takes 2.55 seconds on this build. It hits out to 59 meters and you can return it instantly by recasting Pillage again while it's active. Do keep in mind Pillage has hard line of sight checks, however it can tag enemies so long as you see them at some point before the pulse comes back. I originally created a 400 strength Pillage build to maximize Iron Staff DPS and single cast strip, but the energy economy was unsustainable. Therefore, this is a double cast full strip build. A single cast is generally enough for trash fodder and base steel path, but more importantly, double casting on an Acolyte when their shield is fully removed will shred all of their remaining armor off. Because the chill build uses a pure viral Iron Staff, 3 to 4 quick hits will be able to kill off any Acolyte once this happens. While Cloudwalker gives a status cleanse and mobility, I still slot Rolling Guard because this lets you continue melee DPSing without disengaging. Basically, consider this a double failsafe. Cloudwalker only grants iframes and cleanse while it's active, whereas Rolling Guard grants 3 seconds iframes even after the roll, perfect for ripping apart Acolytes. Prime sure-footed for obvious reasons. Prime flows here to bank up energy due to having only 100 efficiency, especially if your Panzer downs and stops the equilibrium from working when you have full HP due to synth fiber being disabled. Natural talent for faster pillage casts due to the possibility of needing double casting, and a Primal Rage. This augment is the flex slot that would normally be occupied by Gladiator stat stick mod. Gladiator mods only grant plus 110% crit chance at 12x combo, whereas Primal Rage grants 150, making it better. Strength only affects how much crit you get per kill and does not increase the 150% cap of the mod. D, please, make the cap scale with strength. Anyways, the chill build allows Iron Staff to reach exactly 200% crit chance for forever oranges. No reds, but that requires the sweaty setup I'll show later. Energize to patch up your energy economy, and Arcane Strike for the extra attack speed. Iron Staff is actually a very slow hitting melee, and I felt it really needed two sources of attack speed to be comfortable. Archon shards currently include a single red strength shard to surpass the 200 strength requirement for Pillage to exceed 50% strip. Iron Staff build, nothing special, just pure viral. Use Prime Fever Strike and North Wind, I just don't have the polarities for it. But there is one thing to note. Remember how I mentioned you really want two sources of attack speed to use Iron Staff? The first was Arcane Strike on Wukong himself. Now we need to fit Primed Fury on here somewhere. You have two choices, either give up Spring Loaded Blade, which is a noticeable KPM loss because going from 6.5 to 8.5 on Iron Staff range is a 71% hitbox area increase, or give up Organ Shatter, which can be replaced by roughly 3 crit damage red Archon shards. The choice is yours, or drop the Bane if you want, but that's a big DPS loss. Yes, the chill build does not require priming and uses prime to pressure point. Feel free to shoot your Epitaph if you want. You won't get the Giga Chan DPS or lasting death zones on the chill build, but it works. Our Epitaph today is nothing fancy, carrying 2 Augur mods for shield regen bonus. The chill build only needs 1 Augur mod on your pistol, but the sweaty build requires both, a viral radiation for increasing your damage and crowd controlling enemies as necessary. Dexterity Arcane on both our pistol and primary today to increase combo duration on Iron Staff up to 20 seconds. Primary is whatever you want. You can bring a proper primary or a proper Brahma build for the Acolyte in case you get violence, but I went full cosmetic Brahma today, with just Amalgam Serration for sprint speed and the Dexterity Arcane. Melee is a Prado stat stick for plus 30% parkour velocity, and carry Gladiator mod set bonus for Iron Staff. When we build up to 12x combo on Iron Staff, it will still proc 11 times Gladiator stacks even without it equipped on the staff itself. We aren't building any combo on the stat stick today, so none of these mods are really important except the 3 Glad mods. The sweaty build will use a Gunblade instead, since it uses Terrify, which cannot armor strip Acolytes. A Vast Lock or Sarpa with Shattering Impact replacing any of the non-Gladiator mods will let you turn even Endurance Acolytes into butter. The chill build prefers to use Naramon as the focus school since we don't need more strength and already have natural talent to cast Pillage, letting us skip Matarai. We have 0 energy problems and thus don't need Xeneric, and you can't really die in Wukong, so Vazarin and Uneru aren't needed either. The Panzer build is the same as always, and since you're DPSing with an exalted melee, it should be alive most of the time due to pack leader lifesteal. Otherwise, Viral Quills helps the prime viral and proc pet assists for Synth Deconstruct. In turn, Synth Fiber lets you pick up health orbs this way at full HP for Equilibrium, Martyr to keep you alive, Devolution for infinite cat lives, Radar, and Vacuum. That's it. For the sweaty build today, the main differences are using Terrify instead of Pillage for more consistent single cast strip, adjusted energy economy, and gas on Iron Staff instead of viral. We also need Sarpa or Vastlock to strip armor from Endurance Acolytes. I will only be going over the Wukong, Iron Staff, and Focus Schools on the sweaty setup, since those are the only things that change. For primaries, primers, and companions, check the previous timestamps from the chill setup. The sweaty build is meant for big PP numbers and consistently killing hordes of enemies all the way up to level 9k. The energy economy on this build is just barely unsustainable. You run out of energy about every 5 minutes or so. You also cannot afford to constantly spam Terrify when you don't need it. This Wukong is not meant to be played solo. It is meant for long runs and squads such that the squad kills dropping energy orbs makes up for this build running out of energy every 5 minutes solo. It could also be fixed with energy orbs effectiveness shards if you choose to run it solo. I would recommend at least 2 shards. It does not need strength shards since we're on Matarai today. The 167 full strip benchmark for Terrify is reached with just Sling Strength plus normal Intensify, not even the Umbral version. The other mod slot used for strength on the chill build and now slots creeping Terrify to ensure enemies don't get away, since you only have 8.5 meter range on the staff poke. We mod 175 range for Terrify to hit a comfortable 26.25 meter radius. Primal Rage is still here, because it is better than a Gladiator stat stick mod granting 150% instead of 110. Prime Flow is needed to bank up energy Equilibrium can generate, especially because of the energy economy problem. We do not have Energize on this build, and you can either swap for Brief Respite and Energize to give up red crits, or play in a team, or use Energy Orb Effectiveness Shards. The constant self-damage from Combat Discipline not only activates Arcane Avenger, but also enables Equilibrium to always work even when your Panzer downs due to never having full HP. Rolling Guard is vital for the iframes to deal with X-Mine Acolytes and Endurance, Prime Sure-Footed as always, and we still run Arcane Strike for much needed attack speed. This build uses Mataride today for Sling Strength plus 40% to hit the 167 requirement for Terrify, and Power Transfer for plus 50% casting speed without natural talent. Free Void Strike for easier revives or killing Acolytes. The Iron Staff build has a single tweak. While once again you need to decide to drop either Organ Shatter or Spring Loaded Blade for Prime Fury, we also are running Gas instead of Viral. This is because Proton Snap gives plus 50% flat status and the build is already at 48%. This will make the staff be main gas weight and proc gas clouds on literally everything you touch. Yes, gas dots do not scale with elemental percent, but remember Exalteds have double scaling via strength and base damage multiplicative. Also, remember that Iron Staff has a circular hitbox with 1.0 follow through. This strat is completely unnecessary for Bestial Path, but a 100% status gas staff is lethal in Endurance. Anything that doesn't die in a single hit will die to the gas cloud immediately afterwards, as well as killing anything else within the gas cloud. Multiple swings means multiple stacks, meaning larger clowns overlapping in crowds. The Prime Smite is also more important on this build, because gas dots are relevant and double dips the smite for 2.4 times more damage. Since this build uses Terrify and cannot armor strip Acolytes, I would recommend using a Gunblade to armor strip them before applying your gas damage. Refer to the timestamps for melee builds in the chill build. Cheers! If this is your first time watching, feel free to leave a like or better yet subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. 79.5% of you are not subscribed. I'm trying my best to get you new information out always as soon as possible, like I've done with Lewis Prey updates. Stick around if you want to see interesting memes and builds on a nearly daily basis. You don't want to miss out on any of that, do you? That'll be it for this video. Thank you all for watching and see you all next time.